Hi, I'm Mark with Ultralight Backpacking. Today we start a week-long trip on the Bartram National Heritage Trail. It's a 38-mile trail in the Chattahoochee National Forest. It has lots of side trails and loops, and we'll be going through valley bottoms and crossing creeks and waterfalls. And then we'll hike up to the ridge and go up some steep switchbacks to the top of the mountain. I'll be showing you the gear we chose to use on this trip, as well as some of the footage of the trip. So we'll see you on the trail. Hey, we're on the Bartram National Heritage Trail, and this is one of our water supplies. We're going to be gathering water here and filtering it. There's only about 2 or 3 spots to get water along the length of this trail, so the next spot's about 9 miles further up, so we're going to camp a few more miles, and then tomorrow morning we'll be at the other supply. So we got to get us enough water here to last us till then. And we're kind of burning through our food supply a little faster than I'd planned, and I'm a little concerned about having enough for the last leg of the trail. We may have to go with rations a little bit. Another product we bring on every trip, pretty much I keep one of these in my car, is a Frontline emergency water filter. It comes with a little straw. You can keep it in your top pocket, and whenever you do come across water, and you know, I would never drink water without even filter, but you can take your cup and scoop it up, and it has a charcoal activated filter in it. It gets out 99.9% of Giardia and cryptosporidium and anything that makes the water taste bad as well, and it just simply works like a straw. You got to suck a little harder than normal, but whenever we come across water, instead of drinking the water we're carrying, we just fill up our bellies with the water that we pass by. And then these higher elevations we're at, it's not often we come across water. Hey, I got Wilson over here cooking. I've been hiking and camping for decades, and I've done it wrong more times than I've done it right, and I thought I'd show y'all some of the tricks that I've learned. And a neat way to do a fire is to have all the logs facing one another like this. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time cutting firewood and building a great big storage pile. You just get a long piece, and you simply slide, as they burn, you slide them together like nuclear rods in a nuclear reactor. You just keep feeding it. And if you want to put the fire out, you simply pull them apart. And it's just a quick, easy little way to make it where you ain't spending all your time looking for firewood. Another little trick I wanted to show you was I was camping, and we were on unlevel ground, and we pitched the tent, and we kept sliding and kept sliding. Everywhere you go is never level. And one place we camped, there was a little indent in the ground. And it just happened to be right where my hip would lay. I lay on my side when I sleep, and it relieved my back. It kept me from sliding, kept me put. So now every time I camp, before we put the tent up, I dig a little indent in the ground. And just come around here, I'll show you. We all do it. We've all kind of fallen in love with the dent. You can see it. And then you put your thermarest over it, and that's right where your hip will be when you sleep on your side. You don't slide around, and it's just a good little trick. What'll a leg work out? How's your thighs holding up, Chris?
That's holding up all right.
Good morning.
Good to take a break.
We're at the foot of the mountain, and today we're going to go up to the top. It's taken us about 4 days to get here, all uphill. And this is going to serve as our base camp. We had a coyote in our camp last night howling, and by the time we got here, we went to bed about 7, and it's about 7:30 now, and we slept like rocks. You can see we got some morning sun coming up. You always want to try to find a a campsite that'll give you morning sun, because the morning sun will dry the dew off of your tent and everything, and you get a little earlier start if we were packing up. Looking forward to seeing y'all on the top. Thanks. Well, we're on top of the mountain. You can see the view we have. Nothing but mountains and a lot of haze this morning. You can see the fall colors on the leaves, and really scenic. This has been really a good trip. We got one other mountain we're gonna go to the top of. Alex Mountain. It's not as high. Our base camp is in that valley. You can see this mountain, and then the next one, our base camp, is between the two, where we came up from. It was about a 2-mile hike this morning to get here. Well, we're at our next campsite. It's about an hour away from sunset, and we had a hard hike getting here. At our last camp, we were at higher elevations and there's no water, and we ran out, so we had to come to this one. And this campsite is actually just 10 feet away from our water source. So I got Wilson hooking up, and he's filtering water now so we can cook and drink. I thought I'd take the time to show you some of the gear we chose to use on this trip. I'm using a Terra 65 North Face backpack. This is about the smallest backpack you want to do for a multi-day trip. The other guys have got 80s, and that represents liters. So 65 liters, theirs is an 80 liter. I always try to get the guys who go with me to carry more than me. This is the compartment for your sleeping bag, and we use a Thermarest. It's a self-inflating air mattress. You just simply open the valve and throw it in the tent. In 30 minutes time, it's pretty much done. You give it a puff of air and close the valve, and you can sleep on it. Use basically the same type material. It's a pillow. Works real well. Also, we bring these emergency blankets. My sleeping bag is only good, that I bought this trip, to 32 degrees, and it got to 28 last night. So to bump it up, I've used the Thermarest and a hand warmer. I put one hand warmer in the sleeping bag with me, and I'm good to go. On another trip, I got cold and I was shaking, and I opened up 4 of them things and put in my sleeping bag, and I fell asleep, and about an hour later I was cooking. So you just want one of them in there, put your emergency blanket over, and you're good for a few degrees lower than what your sleeping bag's rated at. We got a hobo knife, spoon, fork set, real compact. Camp suds, use it for washing dishes and yourself. This is a rain fly that covers your backpack in case it rains. Cliff Bar, great for snacks. Also, we got a machete with a saw blade on the back side. And another luxury item you don't have to have, but it's these little chairs that they fold out, and no matter what, you got somewhere to sit. They come in real handy. And in the big part, of course, I had the tent in mine, and it's a North Face 33. It's a 3-man tent. You got your pots and pans, real compact, lightweight. Of course, I got clothes. I like to put them in a garbage bag just in case something crazy happens, they don't get wet. We also use a little stove that is super lightweight. It is a Brunson Talon. It weighs like 3 ounces. And we've actually had to cook in the tent on it with our last trip because we were on top of a mountain. It got so windy we couldn't use it outside. But it simply screws on, and it boils water in like 4 minutes. It's pretty awesome, and it's a special fuel mixture, and it doesn't soot the pot up. Coffee, individual coffee, obviously a headlight, a cup. You can make your coffee, hot chocolate in it. Medicines, I always bring a little extra twine. And a rain gear. You never know, you can always use it if you're cold and windy as a windbreak. But that's about it. It's pretty simple. You're not trying to carry the whole world out here when you're having to walk so far. And if you plan it out right, you know where your water is. You can have an enjoyable trip and cover a lot of ground and see some sights that you'll never see anywhere else. And you get in shape at the same time. Your legs and your muscles and your cardio, and we lose weight every trip, and we try to go 2 or 3 times a year, and me and my brothers and some friends. And anyway, that's about all the equipment I've got in mind, and they've got some other odds and ends, and they carry all the food and stuff usually, and the water. And well, we'll see you on the trail tomorrow. Well, we made it back to our truck. We're at the end of our trip. We made double time coming back. It's all downhill. We want to give a special thanks to Beano and GasX for making this trip possible. All kidding aside, I want to get y'all to get off the couch and come take advantage of our national forest and come explore God's great creation. We'll see y'all on the next trip.